You know, it's actually kind of surprising to me how many people don't know that the Blair Witch Project has a few comics associated. Let's talk about them. There we go. That's all Blair Witch comics. So there are 6 issues total associated with the Blair Witch franchise that take place across 3 different series. The first comic to come out associated with the Blair Witch franchise was simply titled The Blair Witch Project One Shot from Oni Press in 1999. It also came with a pretty cool glow-in-the-dark cover. Now the issue is entirely in black and white, and it's a 3-story anthology, each telling a different tale associated with the Blair Witch. The first story is called Ellie Kedward's Curse, and it's the actual origin of the Blair Witch, whose name was Ellie Kedward, if you didn't know. In the story, she comes to the Americas knowing a curse follows her, so she decides to live alone in the woods. Unfortunately for her, when some soldiers come back from war, they take out their frustrations on Ellie, accusing her of witchcraft, beating her, and leaving her out in the New England woods in the winter to die of exposure. This ends up tying Ellie and her curse to the land forever. Years later, a settler named Burkett ends up founding the town of Burkittsville, where everything occurred. The second story is called She Needs Me, and it's about a little girl who lives in Burkittsville and one day is playing alone with a dolly when she ends up being lured out into the woods by the Blair Witch. At one point she loses the doll and starts carrying around a twig that starts talking. It turns out the twig's voice is that of the Blair Witch herself. The little girl hides in the woods and waits until a specific number of men come looking for her. Then the witch uses her body to kill the men and ritualistically disembowel them as a sacrifice. In the third story, called Left Alone, the Rustin Parr Killings, a man named Rustin Parr, who lives on the edge of the woods in Burkittsville, starts hearing a witch's voice tell him to start killing kids for her as sacrifices. This time she needs 7. He starts tracking down and killing kids for her when one day one gets away. After that, Rustin walks dazed into a local store saying it's over.